Hey guys, today I want to do something really different and tell you a story that relates to today and the meaning of today. A while back, Christy and I were looking for something to watch on TV, and we came across The Pacific, which is a miniseries produced by Steven Spielberg and Tom Hanks. You may be familiar with the Band of Brothers series that followed World War II fighting in Europe. Well, The Pacific, you might have guessed, is about the fighting that took place in the South Pacific. And I really enjoyed this miniseries. And there was one particular character that stood out to me. And they called him Sledgehammer in the miniseries. And he stood out to me because he was from my home state of Alabama. And he was just an interesting character who was always taking notes about what was happening throughout the fighting on the islands in the South Pacific. At the end of the miniseries, I kind of wanted to know more. So I did an internet search and I discovered, to my great chagrin and embarrassment, that the Sledgehammer guy was a real guy. Not only was he a real guy, he really lived a pretty short distance from my hometown in Alabama. And so I was blown away by that, and I immediately wanted to know more about him. And I discovered that he had written a book, which was sort of a memoir of his experience in World War II. And the book is called With the Old Breed. And Spielberg and Hanks and the producers of that miniseries used Eugene Sledge's book to write the scripts for much of the miniseries. So I immediately got his book and started reading it. And I was completely blown away because if you're like me, you're probably familiar with the fighting that took place in the European theater during World War II, and maybe you don't know quite as much about what happened in the South Pacific. Well, it turns out that Eugene Sledge from Alabama was a very gifted writer, and the book is an amazing memoir. It's a difficult read at times because it is a truly unflinching account of what happened in World War II in the South Pacific, specifically in the battles of Peleliu and Okinawa. And many of you will find it difficult to read because there are parts of the book that are just absolutely horrific and gruesome. I mean, Sledge doesn't skirt any details of what went on those islands. But I felt in reading the book, my understanding of what all of those veterans went through during that period of time, and really of what all members of our military are potentially signing up for, my understanding of that was greatly enhanced by the book. I loved the book even though it is at times a very challenging, even a heartbreaking book to read. Because you may think you know what it was like to be in the fighting in World War II in the Pacific, but you don't really understand it until you hear a firsthand account. It is truly kind of a hell on earth that these guys went through. Sledge said that he suffered nightmares for the next 20 years of his life after coming back to the United States. So I just wanted to make this video on Memorial Day to recommend this book to you. It's a book that really had a profound impact on me. It is widely considered one of the top 5 books about war of all time. And Sledge himself is a fascinating person because as he's depicted in the Pacific, he's kind of a thin, introspective, introverted, maybe even slightly nerdy type of guy. And yet he is an incredible soldier and Marine. And I was really fascinated to learn about how the experience of war changed him when he came back to the United States. And I'm just really proud to have shared sort of the same neighborhood, so to speak, with him. And I greatly regret that I never had the opportunity to meet him because Eugene Sledge passed away in 2001. But he left us with an incredible book, and I highly recommend you check it out. It's called With the Old Breed by E.B. Sledge. And I will put a non-affiliate link beneath this video, because this video was not made for affiliate sales. This video was made to share with you a book that really meant a lot to me. And here at Long Long Honeymoon, we greatly appreciate our veterans, and on Memorial Day, we stop to think about those who really made the ultimate sacrifice so that we can enjoy the freedoms that we enjoy today. And yes, among those freedoms is traveling around this great country and experiencing it with an RV. So that's it, guys. I just wanted to make this video to share this book with you. See you next time, and we will return to our normally scheduled programming with the next video. Thanks.